Fine. Oh my God. You're fast. Oh my days. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore, blood. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Fuck this. 31 minutes in a semi-final of a fucking European competition. This is your only way to the Champions League. And you put out this performance. Look at this fucking shit, Zah! They're coming again!
Oh my God.
Oh my days! What is going on? What the fuck? When are people gonna open their eyes? When are you gonna open their eyes?
I cannot do this with this fucking team, honestly.
Look at this shit! Look at this! You're telling me, trust the process. Trust this and trust that. Suck your mother for a straw. I don't give a fuck. You're chatting shit. You're proving my point. No, you're proving your point. We're fucking 15th.
It's on the
We're 15th. We are 15th, sir. We are 15th. We are 5 points away from relegation. Yeah? We are closer to the bottom than the top, bro. We ain't winning Europa. There's no European football next year.
Either way, you didn't beat us. And the time before that, you didn't beat us. So, man ain't worried about you, man.
Oh, okay.
I'll be real.
All right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Last season, the last season where you nearly won the league, you didn't beat us.
Okay.
Not once.
Arsenal didn't beat Fulham. Are Fulham better than Arsenal?
That's not the point. I'm saying I don't care about you, man. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't care about you, man.
Fun and games until a ball got to get kicked.
Listen, you see that Klopp aura and that aura started to fade. You know the ones, and now it's not even Klopp no more. It's not even Klopp no more, bro. You see the aura thing that you had, the aura thing that you had. I can't wait because, brother, I swear to you, bro, you man need to win, bro. Because, blood, if we beat Liverpool, brother, I'll be real, change your number.
Yeah. I've also won the league at Anfield before. Yeah, and I was the only brother that supports Arsenal on the internet that was saying this year is looking like Anfield 80 blood clot 9, bro. Yeah. I've been saying it. Yeah. There's hella archives, hella documents. I told man in 89, yeah, we drew with Liverpool at our ground. Yeah. Anfield 89, we beat Tottenham home and away. Anfield 89, we went to Anfield game week 38, game week 36 is but close enough. I told man, Anfield 89, we had man come from Hale End that made a difference in the team. Kevin Campbell, R.I.P., my brother. Yeah? Ethan Wanyeri, Miles Lewis Skelly, the stars are aligning.
Whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Welcome back to another episode of the Big Six Mans. Yes, slightly extended intro. You know, I felt like it was the right type of intro for the show. I just wanted to give a little context because there's been so many new subscribers recently. So many new subscribers. So I just felt like context is key. If this is your first time on the show and you're a new subscriber, especially, we always want to provide the context. So you know who's been talking was, who's been talking out their ass, you know what I'm saying? And who's actually been talking the truth. But as my good friend said, you know, well now, you got too much dip on your chip. That is what it is. But listen, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Redman where you find Errol. You know what I'm saying? Halftime Hooks, Fam Zone TV. It's all in the title. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the man them. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe over here. We've just hit 15.5k subscribers. We're on the way to 16k and obviously on the way to 20k. So if you're watching this back or watching this now, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, man. Become part of the family. Link to become members in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to become part of the cult, the BSB cult, Village hidden in the BSB, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Cobby. You already just got a new member as we spoke. You know what I'm saying? Love that. You know, I know, listen, man, I know the wallets are burning from Valentine's Day. So I know if man them aren't members today, I know eventually you lot are gonna be members. I know certain man them's wallets are bleeding. Yeah, I know some of you lot went hackers. I know some of you went Novi. I know some of you lot went sexy fish and that. Don't forget, I didn't see the snaps. You know what I'm saying? I know she asked for the lobster and that. I know it got peak. In it. But I know payday is coming soon, so make sure you become a member for as little as £3 a month. You know, get that gold BSB badge next to your name and all them things there. So shout out Kobe for becoming a member. But listen, this is the new show. It is called Title Talk. And some of you are like, what do you mean Title Talk? Monts, is this a solo show? What do you mean Title Talk? There is no Title Talk. But I have two members today. I have two Arsenal fans today who believe the title race is still on. So the show must go on. Also, we lose to Newcastle and Arsenal beat, if Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest, the gap technically goes back to 8 with a chance for them to move it to 5 with a lot of games to play. So as crazy as that sounds to the neutral, mathematically, anything's still possible. Now, is that me gaslighting or I just want the show to run? I guess we'll need. But listen, man, then what are you telling me, man? What are you not telling me?
You're two different people, bruv. You started off bruv. You last time you lost your roots for about 3 weeks, bruv. You weren't. This now you're getting your monsters back. This is the real months. Now you've got a jizz in your step. Now you're jumping around. You're energetic again. Nah, bruv. You were a little bit downbeat for a little bit.
I personally, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'll be honest. I don't know. Listen, I'm just here to talk about football because I love the sport. You know what I'm saying? Errol, first time on the channel, man. Debutant. It's been a long time coming. What are you telling me, man? How you been?
I've been good, bro. Yeah, you know what? Like, we had a little link up on Friday, a couple of the man in here. We had a good conversation. We chopped it up for the best part of an hour. And, hooks, birthday eve and all them things. Was feeling confident. West Ham couldn't do him no harm, no damage. And boy, circa 24 hours later, my weekend was off to the races. I was buzzing. And I just knew if we did the job over City, it was peak for them. And look, you can go check the receipts. The Aston Villa game for me was at the point where I felt like, you know what? The amount of opportunities that Arsenal have had this season, when Liverpool have dropped points and not looked invincible, Arsenal have had opportunities to close the gap. They failed on almost every single occasion. I genuinely felt like that 10-point swing, if we beat Villa, Arsenal are like, boom, no pressure. Let's just continue to do our thing and we can just crack on. The fact that we dropped those points and it meant that there was a gap there that they could close to try and bring it back to 5. That meant for me that there was pressure on Arsenal. And I was just glad that, that in the end, it was the action. You can talk the talk, but when your team can't walk the walk and back it up, they'll make a fool out of you more often than not. So, yeah, I was just glad that one set of fans were fuming and the next set of fans were absolutely elated. And I'm just glad that I was in the right camp this weekend.
There's many, many, many more weeks to go. So I implore Liverpool fans to hold their horses, because 97-98, I watched my team, overturn a 13-point deficit to win the league, innit? So you get it. Still in there with the shout. And my hypothesis is still in play. I haven't been proven wrong yet. So until that point, hey man, we still in with a shout, man. So
and I don't disagree with that. The thing for me though, what I keep coming back to it is, and we tried to establish it the other day on the show, was what's the route to get to that point? Because you're just wishing on a hope and a prayer at this moment in time. You're just hoping that there are good omens being in the universe that are meant for you. You're trying to manifest this into existence, but everything on the balance of play and everything we can see in front of us so far would suggest that this is going to be a very disappointing season for Arsenal. Now, honestly, I didn't want it to be an all over disappointing season for you. I expected
I did.
Oh, you're villainous, then you're villainous. But you know what? No, because bro, I know I do content with a couple of Arsenal fans week in, week out, and I genuinely feel as though they're the crop of people that they deserve to see something. They've been told by their fan base, and maybe they've been gaslit a little bit and told that, it's gonna happen. This is the year. The expectation is silverware. I'm like, yo, I'm there for you. I'll champion that if he needs to go get silverware. But the fact that he's in a title race against us right now, it's not looking good. And then obviously the European thing, I'd be like, yo, you should probably put all of your eggs into that basket. There's no guarantee you win it, but I think a lot more of your fans would accept the context of we got dropped out of a Champions League semi. And we lost to the team that eventually won it. I think they would give Mikel Arteta the bly if he ended up in that situation. But currently, right now, it's not looking good. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Not only that, I agree with you. Is one of the major issues that we actually have is we still have to play you. That on a normal day, that would be like, yeah, we can overturn that and we get to play them and it's in our hands. But actually, if you look at the balance of power and the balance of play, it's actually in Liverpool's hands. Not just the points. I mean, like if we had even points and we had to go to Anfield, you would still say Liverpool favourites because Arsenal have got to go to Anfield in the way we're playing. If you actually look at it like outside of being an Arsenal fan, you look at it for real, Liverpool are far better than us that in terms of maintaining their what they're doing, like staying at the same level. Like we're too up and down. And unfortunately, for us to catch a team, we have to just be at least the same level from weeks prior. We can't be this up and down, and we don't have enough consistency, really. And I said this before. I said this big up DJ. I said this on DG stream the other day. Arteta, I'm not Arteta out yet, but he's lost his privileges. And when I say that he's lost his privileges, what I mean by that is
he's in his overdraft. At the end of this season, bro, he's in his overdraft. I'll be real.
You're in overdraft, and not only that as well. There's no more signing players that I feel that because a lot of the time when you have faith in someone, you believe even if you can't see what they're trying to do, you have faith in what they're doing because who it is. So you'd be like, oh, I don't really understand the Havertz signing, but because it's Arteta, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. He's lost all of that. Now I need to see exactly what you're doing with the players you sign. So if you sign a player that's a striker, I need to believe that that's the striker as well. If you sign a player that I don't agree with, then you have to win the league that season. You understand? If you sign players that I don't agree with.
Just for context, and what was your expectation this season? Because obviously this is the first time we've linked up. So I'm trying to see which camp you kind of fit in. Did you get me?
I'm not in the deluded camp. I'm more in the like we can make it happen still, but I do expect to win the title.
What was your expectation at the beginning? What was your right? These are the requirements that I expect Arteta to pattern.
Well, my thing was I thought that we would have challenged for the title, which we are doing, because I don't believe one of those things of win the title or leave or anything like that. I'm more of a long as you're at the king table, then at some point you're going to be able to get the king's chair. That's how I feel. I feel like it's not always this season or next season, but it could be within the next few seasons. I'm more one of those guys where if you're at the table, things can happen. You just got to make it happen at the table. But unfortunately, we've been at the table for a couple of years now, and all we need now is to feel like there's a couple of spaces to fill, and it's like that's just that couple of years is dragging on into 3 years, into 4 years, into 5 years. That can't drag on for too long. So the table, the pace that I'm at now is he's lost his privileges, and when you sign players in the summer now, because I'm not really on the camp of we're probably going to win this league. I doubt we're going to win this league. I mean, never give up, but I doubt it. So I'm in the camp of sign players that I also believe that makes sense. No more utility, versatility, players that can play in multiple positions, potential. I'm done with all of that. I'm finished with squad players. I'm finished with players to raise their floor. I don't want to raise the floor. I want to raise the ceiling now. I've gone past raising the floor, and that's the stage that I'm at the minute.
Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. I feel like there is a level-headedness about obviously because I've done content with you now enough times to know that you do like to see the objective side of things. But I feel like your fan base and the club, especially the board, kind of they don't really even allow you to kind of think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? No, it's supposed to be like this. It's there for a reason, Hooks. But yeah, I generally think that in order to be objective about Arsenal, you kind of have to be objective about how the board has starved your club. You know what I'm saying? I always take it back to the year of 2021 when we didn't sign a centre back. We bought in Thiago, we bought in Diogo Jota. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty and all we needed was a centre back because we let Lovren go. We let him go. And cool, Lovren wasn't held in the highest regard. I'm not going to do revisionism and say he was this great defender, but he was still a centre back that we definitely probably could have needed if everyone was to get injured. And even though it was mad unlikely for every centre back to get injured, every centre back got injured. Like the board didn't replace Dejan Lovren. I don't think anyone had an issue with Dejan Lovren leaving the club. It was just about the replacement. It's just the replacement. And you know, Ozan Kabak, Ben Davis, and obviously young Reece Williams at the time were nowhere near the level to sustain any sort of title push, title run, even a top 4 push. We got there in the end because we had the Fab 3 up top. But at a push to have those guys, bro, we went to the Bernabeu with Ozan Kabak and Reece. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it because I'll go and start doing shadow boxing. The point is, yeah, we went to the Bernabeu with no centre backs. You see what I'm saying? And that was literally just because the board didn't want to add an extra piece to kind of keep us where we're supposed to be. And I feel like the Cronkies have emulated that with Arsenal.
Yeah, Sorry, go on.
No, do you know what I think is a good point? Look, like obviously we're all, you know, fans of what we consider to be the traditional big 4, big 6, however you want to split it and look at it. Look at what Chelsea were doing last night. Chelsea fans were out there in the streets on, you know, their boards, sporting directors, their people's necks. And it might not have been the biggest ever protest that they've ever put together or the biggest demonstration, but the mentality towards, it starts with us. Change needs to start with us. And if we don't advocate for that level of change, it's never going to happen because the board are going to think that we're content. And ultimately, the Arsenal fan base aren't content. To the best of my knowledge, he's very frustrated the not acquiring the right type of player that you need, and then obviously addressing the players, as Monty just said, in the areas when it's glaringly obvious you need a striker.
But I think there's 2 parts to it though, which I like. Obviously, I think there's 2 parts. The first part to it is, if we're going to be real and be a real honest conversation, Arsenal are trying to do what Liverpool are doing. That's the first thing. Like, because there's a few spending clubs and there's a few building clubs. Liverpool, one of the building clubs. Like Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham are the building clubs. Man United, Man City, Chelsea are the spending clubs. We're trying to do what Liverpool are doing. That's the first thing. The second thing is, we are not. We're a big club, but we have never won the Champions League before. We've never retained the Premier League before. There are still things missing from our history. And a lot of the fan bases, what our fan base don't like to do, they don't like to actually be real with themselves. You see me, I G-check myself all the time in life, let alone the football club. And the fan base don't G-check themselves. They have to understand that our whole club is inexperienced. Our owners are inexperienced. Our manager's the very first time he's ever managed. Our players are all young, they're inexperienced. The only people that are not inexperienced are the fan base. The whole club is inexperienced. So you got to make a choice whether you grow together and decide that, we're going to grow together and give them a chance to be experienced at the club, or we want a change of direction, which I feel like the fan base are kind of all over the place with what they actually want. They don't really know what they want. If you talk to some fan bases, they will say Arteta in, some will say Arteta out. If you talk to some fan bases, they'll say Kroenke is out. Some will say Kroenke have just got quiet.
I think that's a little bit of a cop out, though, if I'm being completely honest with you, because, you know, whether you rate the experience or not, the average lifespan of a Premier League manager is only 18 months. So Arteta's eclipsed that twice.
But
so
not for Arsenal. Not for Arsenal. It's not.
No, I'm talking about experience in the league. So as a league manager, 18 months is your average. And if you're not up to the job, somebody else is in your seat. So the fact he's had double the length of time with that, he's had more opportunity to learn what it takes to cement you for where you want to be. So you could argue the fact that the progression has been there, and you can see it, you know, in the league position. You can see it in terms of the squad building. There has been clear progression. But then to argue that, again, the Cronkies and the ownership, they may never have owned a football institution before, but they've been there for the best part of nearly 15 to 18 years now themselves. So again, you've got to be able to identify the models. They've waited to see Liverpool's model work by 2020. We had won the Champions League, we had won the Premier League. All right, that's a model that we can emulate. And then they've started to implement it. But ultimately, Liverpool, again, like I said to a show with Dan Potts last year, the big thing for someone like Declan Rice, when you actually went and spent the bread on Declan Rice, was he needs to be the same level of transformative that Alisson and Van Dijk was to Liverpool. Because if he's not, that money that you've spent on him is going to come back to bite you in the arse when you could have split that money across different departments.
Yeah, but he still has time. He still has time. It's not finished yet. He still has time.
But again, look, right. So from a Liverpool perspective, we was on. You said you want to be at the table. We was at the table with City for about 2 years, but we couldn't get over the line. Once we clicked and got Van Dijk and got Alisson, the transformation took us from nearly men to the men. And that you saying now we can give Rice time isn't the pressure that you need to put on a player like that. When they come through the door, it's time for the team to kick on with him in that team. It's not we can give you 2 years to settle in and get accustomed to things and get acclimatized.
Why not though?
Because you've paid that much money for a player of that level. You've paid the fee for that transformation, and you're not seeing it in the time that you really need to get that return on investment.
Yeah, but you're classing as not seeing it because you haven't won the title. That's how you're classing it.
Well, you've not won anything. You've not won anything.
No, I know, but what do you class as seeing the transformation? What do you class as that?
Getting you across the line. Like for us, as I said, we wasn't going to win the Champions League without Virgil van Dijk and Alisson. We weren't going to win the Premier League without those players. By getting those players in, when it comes to attacking those competitions thereafter, the expectation was we can win it, so go and win it. And we did.
I think that's a bit unfair though, because you brought in Alisson and Van Dijk, but you had Salah. Like, you know what I mean? You had Mane, you had Firmino. Like, you had, like, you basically...
But we had them.
Our defense our defense wasn't as good as yours in 2017 going into 2018. I'm talking pre-January when we went and got Van Dijk. It's still, the back line was still very shaky and it was still very much outscore. If anything, we was more similar to Chelsea than we were more similar to the Chelsea at the start of the season than maybe a premeditated Arsenal side, because we was outscoring so many teams. In 2017, 2018, especially when Coutinho was there for the first 6 months, we was blitzing teams, but we were still conceding goals very quickly and in very annoying ways. Bringing in Van Dijk and Alisson, yes, at the expense of Coutinho, balanced out the team. And so go on.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, with Arsenal brought in Declan Rice, but like your point would have made sense to me if we brought in Declan Rice alongside Isak, because then we would have done the reverse of what Liverpool did. Liverpool had a wavy attack, but their defense was a bit, you get it. You brought in Van Dijk and Alisson, that balanced the squad. Arsenal's the opposite. Our defense, but our going forward, not so great most of the time. So then
that's why I'm saying about the experience of your. That's why I'm saying about the experience of your owners, though, because your experience of your owners was you've got the big bag. We're going to put the big bag towards a Declan Rice,
but they don't care. That's the thing. They go back to your other point. Like, they've been at Arsenal for like 15 years or so, but they don't care. Like, even to the extent you can go onto the KFC Sports LinkedIn, there's no mention of Arsenal at all. Like, it's the only franchise that they own that there's no mention of. They actually genuinely just they don't care. Like, the way that they obviously this is me making assumptions, but I feel like the evidence is there. I feel like they just see Arsenal as like, it would be nice for us to have a Premier League team under our umbrella, expose us more globally, and the money that Arsenal generates we can put into our other franchise that we care more about. Like, them man love their hockey team. Definitely. Them man love their NFL team. The Nuggets love them. Yeah, they even love their lacrosse team more than Arsenal. Like,
lacrosse is
crazy, bro.
What?
Yeah, lacrosse.
Is that the sport with the? Is that the sport?
It's a rough sport. It's rough though.
What's it called? Carlton plays it in Fresh
Prince. Stan Kroenke goes to more of the lacrosse games than he does Arsenal.
This is the question really for you, because obviously title talk is the theme of this, and you're still mathematically in with a chance of becoming champion this season, but how do you ensure that next season is a rinse and repeat? Because everyone says it. Whenever Patrick Ezra came out with it and just nailed it and said, "He's like Netflix," he couldn't have been more spot on, because everything is always geared towards next season. Because, like I said to you before, that change has got to start within the fan base to you've either got to accept and become quite grounded, in my honest opinion, of where your actual level is, or you say that's the level we want to go to. We're going to be relentless in our pursuit to get there. I don't think he's serious enough.
But the thing is, yeah, this is the thing. I can't control that as a fan. I can't control that. All I can do is see what's happening. And although everybody, I don't know, seems to think that Arsenal's in like this really bad place, like at worst, this is going to be our third consecutive season finishing second. Like for a team to consecutively 3 times in a row be the second best in the league, like that level of consistency, you don't really see that. Like it's not something that you really see. Like yeah, it's not like it's not in silverware.
We're doing.
Yeah, no, but like, it's not. Yeah, but I mean, when we come away from when we come away from the trolling and the banter and the football YouTube talk, yeah, like there's like 18 other teams in the Premier League that would love to be where I am right now. Do you get what I'm saying? The only thing that I need to climb is the final step. That's all I have to do. Are
you not afraid of going backwards before? You
say this going backwards, but after the 21-22 season where we finished 5th, people said we was going to go backwards. The very next season, we finished 2nd. After the 22-23 season, people said, oh, that was Arsenal's best chance to win the league. They're not going to make top 4 anymore. We finished 2nd in the very next season. After that season, people said, oh man, that was actually your luckiest season. Like, you know, Liverpool fell off, United fell off, Chelsea fell off. When them teams come back, Arsenal's going to fall out the top 4. I'm sitting 2nd again. So I actually have evidence of my team consistently being able to swing at the upper end of the table. And now we're doing it in arguably the worst scenario that we've been in over the last 3 seasons that we've challenged for the title. So I will then look on to next season and go, okay, next season Saka's not going to be out for like 3 to 5 months. Erdegaard's not going to be out for 3 months. You're not going to have Martinelli in and out throughout the season. You're not going to have Calafiori in and out throughout the season. Like,
depending on who we sign.
I'll be honest. Look, you're not going to have Jesus out for like 6 months. Like, so I will go into and obviously this will be off of the premise that Arsenal go and sign players in the summer, which I think they will, because I think there's going to be a big shake-up in the summer because we have a lot of players coming to the end of their contract. There's a lot of players that are probably going to leave. We're going to have to sign players by default. So it's going to be a big summer for Arsenal. But I don't buy this whole Arsenal are going to go back.
Okay, well then, right, then let's frame it this way then, right, Hooks? This is Arsenal at their worst, in the last 3 to 5, and they finished 2nd. The last season, you could argue Arsenal were at their best, and they still finished 2nd.
But we went all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, but we've done that as well. We've done that. But
bro. You see, the thing is, by the way, let me shout out Mr. Link as well. He says the panel we needed, obviously, brilliant stuff like the panel. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool in 36, smash alike. For everyone who doesn't know what that means, he believes game week 36 will be the game week that Liverpool win the league, or I believe that there could be of a, I don't want to say the guard of honor, but you know, it's a little something like that. But make sure we're smashing the like button before we just continue the chat. There's 440 people in the house right now, and we're actually only sitting on about, how many likes are we on right now? 129 likes with 440 watching. So I believe we should easily be at about 200 likes plus. So do remember to hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? People, don't be lazy now. Don't be lazy now. Come on now. But just to carry on the conversation before we actually just get on to the Arsenal versus Forest game. Genuinely speaking, there's a massive narrative shift by simply getting over the line. I know we've slightly touched on that already, but there was a massive dark cloud under Jurgen Klopp's head that no one seems to ever remember. And that is even a compliment to how significant getting over the line is. See what I'm saying? People don't forget that. I believe Klopp lost, I think it was 6 finals in a row from Dortmund going across to Liverpool. I believe him. I think it was 2-4 or 3-3. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But there was a narrative on the Jurgen Klopp that he can't get over the line in finals. Good manager. He still wasn't classed as great. Yes, he won the 2 Bundesliga titles and there was a lot of significance. But over in the UK, it was more good manager, Great is if you can, can you turn it around at a club like Liverpool? I know Dortmund is a massive, massive club as well, but to go and do it in the UK, the outlook of him in the UK was different. And again, we lost that League Cup final against Man City, on penalties, the Sevilla final where I still
don't know how that second half happened.
Yeah, exactly. After we should have been 2-3 up. The best cup final goal I've seen since Gerrard's volley at West Ham. That is the best cup final goal I've seen in the Liverpool shirt, that Trivella. But we still ended up losing that game, and then we ended up losing to Real Madrid. Obviously, everyone remembers what happened to Salah. So at that point, 3 cup finals lost. He'd lost his previous 3 cup finals, and at that point, Coutinho has just handed in a transfer request. Yeah. It could, and this is what I mean when I say things are in the balance. It could have got real dark for Liverpool.
Yeah, but if that's the case here, that you're putting all those pointers, why are Liverpool fans so upset with FSG then?
No. But here's my point. I'm going to get to that. When I say it could have gone one way or the other, Coutinho leaving Liverpool, we didn't let him leave, and obviously we come to the agreement, let him leave in January. If that transfer request gets accepted and we sell Coutinho, there is no guarantee that Virgil van Dijk or Alisson come through the door. And then guys like Salah, guys like Firmino, guys like Mane are all open to big moves. They can go to the Madrids, the Barcelonas at the time. Bayern Munich were more of a colossus at the time. Robben's time was running out. All those guys. Do you see what I'm not Robben? Sorry, Gnabry and Sane obviously were kicking ball, but there were places for those for guys like Salamani. So even though it went the other direction and those guys stayed and the legacy became the legacy of Liverpool Football Club, bro, when Coutinho handed in that transfer request, Liverpool were trophyless. Coutinho didn't win a trophy for Liverpool, bro. He didn't win a single trophy. I'm happy he won the six-tuple. He didn't win a single trophy at our club. A player of that stature. So what the grass sometimes looks greener on the other side when you don't win and you keep getting and you keep, that's what I'm saying for Arsenal. If you keep getting really close and falling off just at the end, there are certain moments where, like what Errol said, you're not guaranteed to always go forward and to always progress. Someone's going to sit there and go, oh, you know what? I can just go Madrid. Oh, you know what? I can just go Man City. Oh, you know what? I can just go to Barcelona. And I'm not saying that's going to happen for all your players. And you do have a decent contract situation for some of the younger players that are doing well. But you are very dependent on certain players where if someone does no one saw the Coutinho transfer request. No one really saw that coming.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And when Klopp got over the line by winning that Champions League, by the way, that easily couldn't have happened. It was 3-0 down, remember? Winning that Champions League completely changed the narrative at Liverpool Football Club. You're now a winner. You're now so if Arteta was to win a major, he is now a winner. He has proved that he can win, and very quickly you'll be very surprised how quickly people forget.
Yeah, it changes the narrative immediately. But what I would say in response to the players can leave and stuff, like I say, the Saka might leave or the Saliba or stuff like that. Like you can leave, but you're also part of the football club. If you want to win trophies, then win now. You're here now. You're playing. Like if you want to, we're gonna leave Arsenal because they're not winning trophies, then win us a trophy. You're here playing now. You know what I'm saying? So all of that thing of when people like to say, oh yeah, Saka will leave or Saliba will leave, they're part of the problem. They're here now, playing now. So they're not getting no leeway to say, oh yeah, because we want to go win trophies, so we're gonna go leave and go to another club. That's no leeway to me, because you're playing at the team now. And all Arsenal fans believe that these players, the reason why Arsenal fans are so irritated is because we believe that these players are good enough to win now. So if you're not winning now, then it's on the players as well as the manager.
Yeah, but you say that, but it's like, whose fault is that though, that you aren't winning right now?
It's easy to say just the manager's fault.
The way I would liken it is, when, again, you might, and I hope it doesn't happen to you, but if you're in a situation where you've got to end up with kids and you split from the baby mum, you don't step out on your kid, you stay with your kid. So it's like, you're not going to step out on your team and your teammates because they've been in it with you all the time. You're stepping out on the manager because something's broken down there, and ultimately you think that you've got a better opportunity getting managed and coached with another set of team and another set of players. So it's that kind of mentality for me. Would those players be leaving their teammates? No, they want to win with these sets of teammates. I think they'd want to be leaving Mikel Arteta though in the situation, because he's proven that he hasn't got the skill set and the capabilities to coaches in the hardest time, which is what I've been impressed the most about in terms of Arne Slot, is he didn't have a budget. He hasn't had millions and millions of pounds to go and hand pick and cherry pick the players he wants to fit in his system. He's ultimately had to utilize players, and there was a solid enough a blueprint there for him to work off, but he still had to tweak and have them work and get the best out of them week in, week out. His ability to do that is going to be potentially going to be the difference maker between our season last year fading away and falling away, and this season going on to pick up one of the major trophies. I think that's where you're lacking in terms of Arteta's managerial. He might be a great man manager, but as a tactician and in game and being able to get the best out of your team now, especially given the fact that you've had injuries and you've got to be a lot more reactive because you can't plan in the same way. He hasn't had Saka available for best part of 3 months. He's not really been able to use Odegaard at the beginning of the season. Havertz has gone down just after January. There's got to be a way where, his little buzz phrase was internal solutions. But where are they?
No, but you're saying that, but that's not really the case, because he's only lost one of the games after the Newcastle game since he only lost the Premier League game.
No, but I'm talking in general. Him coming out saying the internal solutions came out in January, but behind the scenes, he would have been speaking to his team and his coaching staff saying, we've got to find internal solutions for Saka going out. Previous to that, when Odegaard was down, he would have been saying, we need an internal solution for Odegaard because you couldn't have made no transfers. This is what I'm saying to you. Over the balance of play over the course of the season, where are those internal solutions?
We don't have any. It's simple. We don't have any internal solutions. It's not hard to know that we don't have any. It's not. I mean, it's not like we're
the manager. So you're saying it's both of them. It's the players. That's actually the manager. That's not the players that need that.
Truth be told, though, Arteta actually came out and said internal solutions before Havertz got injured in it.
So that's what I'm saying. But it was in the January transfer window. It was in the January transfer window.
So the Havertz injury, I think, threw all of that out of whack. Like that caught everybody off guard, innit? So, but I mean, like that injury there is like, it's your starting number 9, and now your backup number 9 is gone as well. Like, we're actually in a super dark place, in it. So, but you know what? Yeah, you know what's funny? Yeah, why do Liverpool fans? Yeah, and I'm generalizing because obviously I know there are exceptions, but on the whole, why do Liverpool fans attack Arteta when they have the context of Klopp? Because I'm pretty sure if I asked you, man, all the question now, when Klopp got to that stage where it's like, oh damn, he's lost all these finals, he hasn't gotten over the line, would you have gotten rid of him that season? Because obviously, looking back now, if you did, that would have been the worst thing.
But they won the Champions League.
Yeah. Obviously,
I think for us, is though, you know, your version of progress and our version of progress is probably where the fork in the road happens. Klopp got to those major milestones
earlier,
and we could see that. Boys, you've got to a Champions League final, and we've only had Verge for 6 months. Imagine what you'd do with Verge after a whole year. Do you know what I mean? You've kind of, you've pushed City to 90, 100, and we got 98 or 99 points or something. Imagine if they don't get 100 next season. If we finish in 97 plus,
every season it was very little stagnant. If we were stagnant, it was maximum 6 months. The incline for us, I think the incline for Klopp was a lot steeper than the Arteta's incline. Arteta still had an incline because he started back-to-back 8th. So let's not act like that wasn't a thing. He did go from the 8th to the 4th to the 2nd. But since the first season that you've come second, I think that incline has very much become almost borderline parallel. If you want to, almost borderline parallel. If we're being honest,
I'm not so sure, because we was 2 points off of winning the league last season. The gap was much larger the season before.
Yeah, the gap was larger for last minute, but at the end of the day, but people would also say that you played your best football in that first season that you challenged when you had Xhaka, as opposed to when you had.
And you was in the Europa League then as well, weren't you?
Yeah, those in the Europa League that season. Yeah, I think there's probably, as I said, the reason why I think it's like this, because there are some people that do prefer that Arsenal to this Arsenal, even though this Arsenal is clearly defensively better. Like it's clear as day you're defensively better. You can see 20 goals less on average, but you're scoring less goals from your front line. You are more dependent on the team chipping in goals rather than your front line getting the goals. And being that dependent is very dangerous with a board that treats you like how FSG have often treated Liverpool, where being sustainable is more important than winning big.
Yeah. And I think my thing, again, generalizing, I don't think there's a disdain towards Arteta. I think as Liverpool fans looking at it, we think he's in a very privileged position to be an apprenticeship level manager, managing one of the bigger clubs in England and giving such a fair crack of the whip. We think it's bonkers from an outside perspective because, modern football doesn't typically work that way. I think in terms of the narrative, I think Liverpool fans, again, generalize and probably get defensive because for a long time, Arsenal fans, not necessarily Arteta, were responsible for shoehorning Arteta in conversations where he ultimately did not belong in. And I think that's where Liverpool fans got defensive in that sense of.
What do you mean by that?
So it took us a long time for Jurgen Klopp to earn his stripes. We never said that Jurgen Klopp was above Pep. We always understood that, there's levels to this. Pep is clearly out front. But in terms of the whole Pep and Klopp era, if it wasn't for Klopp, Pep would have just clean sweep Champions League sooner. He would have clean sweep Premier League. He'd have probably done 4-peats and trebles consistently. Klopp was a
I hear Liverpool fans say if he had the same money that Pep had, he would be.
And that's another argument. So yeah, that is another argument. But that's a different argument. I think just in terms of what they actually went on to achieve, I think people believe that Klopp was in his own right. He was a thorn in Pep's side that Pep would probably acknowledge. I think what then happened was, Arteta had one season which was good, and finishing second was brilliant. But it came at a time when Liverpool had fell off for context that you are now applying for yourselves, but you didn't give us the charity towards when it was happening to us. So at the time when we was living and breathing it, you were like, nah, we're not trying to hear that. We're great, we're good. All that Arteta needs to do is win one league, and then he's tied with Klopp. And because, again,
that's a fact, though.
That is a fact, though.
That's not a fact.
But you can't say he's on the same level just because he won one league as Klopp.
No. I mean,
you're using two sides of the coin.
So from my perspective now, the next one is Slot going to be the same level as Klopp just because he wins it this season? For me, he's not.
I mean,
you got to loss. Because you're not saying that Slot is doing better
on paper. On paper, yes. On paper, you can go, cool. They have one league each, but Slot hasn't won the Champions League. Slot hasn't had to rebuild the squad. Klopp had to rebuild the squad. There's a lot of discrepancies that the manager has to do to be spoken about. I think the point is it's not really about the comparison of the managers. Arteta being compared to Klopp so early in his Arsenal, well, at least 2 years, 3 years into his Arsenal career, is just disrespectful.
But
you're talking about a minority that lives on the internet.
No. Well, listen, and that can be towards that minority, but the point is that
it was there. It was there,
and I had to listen to it a lot as well. I'm a YouTuber. We're all YouTubers here. You know what I'm saying? We've all seen it online and in person. But at the end of the day, that's probably I think Errol was spot on. That's probably where it stems from in terms of any sort of animosity towards Mikel Arteta. Because remember, Liverpool and Arsenal are not direct rivals. It's not Everton. It's not Arsenal and Spurs. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand that. Me personally, I just think that he's not helped himself at times. No one's denying that he hasn't done a good job. He's more leaning towards the Brendan Rodgers side of things if he carries on not winning. But again, all it takes is one win to change the narrative.
But who's there to say? That's what I'm saying. So what you're doing, you're basically saying that about the time scale, basically, is what you're saying, isn't it? You're saying the time scale because you're saying Brendan Rodgers, but what I'm saying is what Arteta has done at Arsenal. Would you say he's doing a good job? What would you say his job is like on a scale of excellent?
I think Arsenal. He's taken
as a whole. I mean, like when he came into
as a whole, he's taken Arsenal from a place of darkness, and he's helped, and he's given them. He's made you guys relevant and competitive again, and that job. I respect any manager that can do that with any club.
And I think I think as well. Sorry, John. I think if you would have went straight from Arsene Wenger to Arteta, and it took him 3 years to get you that, I think you should have bit and said in 3 years you should be competing again. I think you should have bit anybody's hand off for that opportunity. It's taken a little bit longer, but ultimately, you wanted to be in the mix. I remember watching AFTV videos from back in the day, and 90% of the criticism was we're just not in the mix. We have no divine right to win.
Yeah, they wanted to challenge.
But we want to be back in the mix and challenge. Don't get it twisted. That narrative seems to have changed even from, you know, ones now that say that they've had standards from day dot. Now it's all about winning.
Yeah, 100%.
It never really was for a long time on the likes of AFTV, fan cams, you know, YouTube shows. It was more about, we want to be competitive. All right, now you're living in competitive. This is what it's like to be competitive. This is what City will do to you. City will take you to 95 points, 97, 98 points to try and win.
Wear you down to the point where you're questioning to yourself, is it even
worth it? And is it even worth it? Do you get me? And the next thing that you need to do, is say, all right, we're good. If it's not this year, we've got to have the resilience to do it all again next year. And I think that's been the bumper for Arsenal, because the first bite of the cherry is not always going to be the successful one. But can you go again?
And there's no divine right that a team will be competitive every single year without fail, because again, you'll get a year like this for Arsenal where, yes, maybe things would have been different if your big hitters didn't get injured, but the injuries happened. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way football. I generally believe myself, and I believe Liverpool would have retained the title if Virgil van Dijk, Gomez, and Matip didn't all get injured, and Fabinho all at the same time. I still believe we would have retained the title. We were top in January. We just beat Palace 7-2. I know what I was seeing, the way Liverpool were moving, but I had to learn very quickly. There is no divine right that Liverpool will challenge 3, 4, 5 years in a row without some sort of drop off or mass run of injuries. Because to sustain that sort of high octane football while playing Champions League, while competing for cups, the players are not robots. And the board prioritizes stability over consistently winning. So that's why I say that, and I'm not saying you guys said there's a divine right for Arsenal to constantly be there, but there's going to be, who even says next year you man are going to be there? You know what I'm saying?
It's real. I just feel like, what you're saying is real. I just feel like with us, you got to like put it into perspective of like Saliba's 22, Saka's 24.
Yeah, you got 8 on your side. You've still got 8 on your side.
And not just that. I'm saying that Arteta is one of the youngest managers in the world, if not in the league, if not the world. Like, we're learning on the job. We're learning all together. We've got like, obviously, because unfortunately, it's just the wrong club for this inexperience, because Arsenal have had success in the past. If it was Bournemouth or something, it would be one of the greatest managers in the league and one of the best players. Like, I mean, it'll be all of that. But unfortunately, it's just that it's Arsenal. But
then there's got to be standards that come with it being Arsenal, though, at the same time. So that's why I'm
saying. Yeah. But our standards are unrealistic, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Our standards that a lot of Arsenal fans think, they feel like they act like we are Man City. That's the problem. Like, we have never won the Champions League ever in our history.
Neither has City, by the way. City haven't won the Champions League.
No, but what I'm saying is the difference is with City is they've got, like I said, there's spending clubs and there's building clubs, isn't it? Arsenal,
of course. Yeah,
we have to navigate differently. It's just the way it is, you know what I'm saying? But now we've got to this point now, what I think is more of an issue is the owners can say, because, you know, like, if you're in a position of, like, I don't know, you might be in a position of, you might not be a good runner, but if your mother or your father sees that you can run fast and you're winning and you're getting close to winning races, they might struggle with their money and buy you a pair of spikes. You know what I mean? Their last £10, they might say, listen, he might be able to get somewhere with this. That's what the owners didn't do. They saw that we were in a, who's this, like you said, Mons, who's to say that these players are going to get in the same position next year? We're in the Champions League, latter stages, and we're in the title race. The fans should, the owners should have said, yo, bruv, go and get that and go and win this. Go try your best to go and win this, my guy. Listen, we might not even be here again. It's not every time. Wait for the next time, because the next time we might not. You might not know if you're alive next year, let alone in the title race next year.
It's real. Nothing is
gonna win,
guaranteed.
man.
It's like saying to the gal at the club, yo, next time she's at the bar, I'm gonna go.
You know, you're thinking next time I'm trying to beat tonight.
Bro, you might see a dashboard on her snap by then. You're gonna
That's the only thing. Especially us, man, normal brothers from normal places. You get me? Like these man should have been. These owners should have been like, what, you lot latter stage of Champions League? I'll tell you, what do you need? Boom, you lot go try your best to go and sign some stuff and go and try and make it happen. If it don't happen, it don't happen, but at least we tried. Them man are thinking, oh yeah, we'll do it in the summer. Like as if to say it can always just reset. And if you're gonna do that, then you need to, these fans are going to games and I'm watching games every week still. So should I just stop supporting it and wait for the summer then? Should I just stop? Should I just not support this game tonight then and just say, oh, let's stop?
On that, it is a 6-pointer. Nottingham Forest have came out of nowhere this season.
We will get dragged into a top 4 race if we don't win this game.
Before we quickly jump, because we're going to spend the last.
Go on.
Let me just obviously do some housekeeping before we switch to the games now, because that was a serious segment. Big up OR with the super chat. He says, and one thing that Slot is showing is that football doesn't have to be hard. Hooks and Monts have touched on this before about Arteta. He just complicates it. Shout out Sean C for becoming a member as well, man. Welcome to the family. You know what I'm saying? The doors are always open. So big up yourself for becoming a member to the channel as well, man. Come on, Sean. I know long-time subscriber as well. So big up your damn self. Obviously, OR says, I see people saying, oh, look at Liverpool. They only play long ball, blah, blah, blah. Why does everything have to be so robotic? Switch it up. Be adaptable. Shout out OR. He's spitting some real facts there. Shout out Nabil for the super chat. He goes, the problem for Arsenal is their world-class players are not in their prime. Unlike Virgil van Dijk signed at 24, 25. Saliba signed at 19. That's actually a very interesting point, that. Very interesting point. But I'd also say the argument is that Salah wasn't in his prime, Mane wasn't in his prime, Firmino definitely wasn't in his prime. And I think
Firmino was doing a wing back at one point in time.
I think there was like a fortunate side of Klopp's style where Liverpool's players clicked very much at the same time. Everything clicked at a similar time, where I think with Arsenal, there are some players that have clicked expeditiously and others who are kind of stayed. Like, for example, Martinelli and Saka were very much like this at one point.
Yeah, they were neck and neck.
And Saka's just went like that. Martinelli's just, you know what I'm saying? 100%. And you could even throw Smith Rowe in there as well with how promising he was. How good he could have been. Shout out Nick as well, the Football Club Raiders or for the Raiders as well. Big up, make sure you subscribe to Nick as well. But listen, we got to move on to the games. We'll spend a little bit of time on both games, and then we'll obviously, you know what I'm saying? 500 people in the house though, man. Really good turnout today. So guys, make sure we're subscribing to the channels. Make sure you're subscribing to the Redman TV, Redman TV 2. Make sure you're subscribing to Halftime Hooks and the Fam Zone TV. They got milestones that they need to be hitting as well. So if you support me, support the people around me. You know what it is. We're on 191 likes with 492 current viewers. Now, I ain't gonna lie, somebody smell like shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody smell like shit. Come on, guys. Make sure we do be hitting that like button. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to run in the Drewski skits.
Somebody smell like shit.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Big up everyone in the chat. The chat is going crazy as well, man. So big up everyone. We see you. We're gonna get some of the comments a little bit after the first game. So obviously Arsenal travel to Forest. Arsenal made mincemeat of a very good Nottingham Forest side in the reverse fixture. And let's be honest, that has not been an easy team to play. As me and Era, I believe we can speak. We can speak. Yeah, I mean, listen, like if it wasn't for them, we'd be on course with being invincible if it wasn't for them. So we know how hard a game it can be playing them, how annoying they can be. How the man feeling about that game? Because obviously the West Ham game, obviously, I know that I can say for free that definitely came as a shock to your fan base. Obviously, I made a call to my quite possibly, if I do a DNA test, cousin in Jared Bowen. You guys know why he could be, as I said, you know what I'm saying, Jamaican, no father, but we got the same last name, so we might just be related. Fuck knows, we might just be related. So I'm just saying, how you man feeling about the game?
I'll let Hook speak because I'll get the channel banned.
Like that, yeah.
It's going to be a very tough game, innit? But I think that we can scrub out a victory, man. Like it's either going to be a scrubby victory or a draw. Like Well, I mean, even truth be told, it's one of those games where we could even lose. Like any of the results is possible, and it's not even like I would say it's probably a 33% split in it. Like it can go any one of the ways in it.
You're booking them at a good time, though, Hooks. They're not the form team that they was at the turn of the year, so you are booking them at a good time.
But it's away from home, though.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest part. Is like. How will the players react to the environment? Because the Forest fans are going to make it very, very, very difficult for them. And do they cower or do they stand up and be counted? See, look, it's at the point now where, for me at least, like, cool, Arteta sets them up. Cool, they do the training. Cool, they get all the tactical information. But really and truly, we're just at the point now where the players have got to show everybody that they want to win the league. That's just all that it is, really. Like the players on the pitch, you're on the pitch, go and show everybody, and even yourselves that A, you want to win it, and B, that you're capable. And getting the double over Nottingham Forest in this season would be a very positive thing for the players' mindset, because they're currently the third best team in the league. Like a lot of teams have struggled against them, and maybe there's something that we can take from when we played them at our ground that we can take into that ground to hopefully give us the edge. Like I know last time we played them, I think we had all of our players available, or maybe Erdegaard might have been injured. I know we had Saka at the very least, and we had Havertz. So we had much more of our better players in it. So we're going there with a lot less than what we should have. But I feel like Arteta has to do something that Nuno won't expect. Because Nuno's someone, he's more than happy to just sit back, let Arsenal have the ball, and then we'll just make it a game of counter. Yeah, transition. We'll just make it transition. So Arteta's gonna have to do something that Nuno could never have had in his foresight in it. And that's where Arsenal probably can win the game. But if he goes out and he just plays the exact same team that he played against West Ham, plays the exact same way he played against West Ham, it's going to be a very hard game. So I'm confident that we can get a result there. I think the first maybe 10 to 20 minutes are going to be super important. If we concede early, I think that will be game, set, and match. But if we score early, I think that will make Forest come more out of their shell, push their line up a bit further, and then from then maybe we can nick however many goals that we can.
From three, you going with Hooks if you're Arteta?
So I would personally go Sterling, Wanyeri, and Trossard, didn't it? Personally, I would view the Mikel Moreno thing as I got that last ditch saloon thing. Yeah, cool, it's not working. Dash it. But I would even do something like maybe play Wanyeri in the 9, or maybe play Sterling in the 9. I wouldn't. The thing is, I wouldn't want Trossard. I wouldn't want Trossard in the 9, because I feel like Wanyeri in the 9, even though off the right is where we've seen him shine the most, I'm a firm believer that you should have your more experienced players in their more comfortable positions, and that's how you get the best out of them, where they excel. And your young G's just go to Wanyeri. Look, I think you could play this role one day, but just go be free. He's fearless. He's full of confidence. Just go be free. Just do your thing. And I'm pretty sure with how good he is in tight spaces, how good he is at dribbling, how good he is with his low center of gravity, he's going to cause the centre backs problems. I think he will cause the centre backs more problems than Trossard if Trossard's playing in the 9. Sterling could be a shout for the 9. Maybe Sterling could be some sort of distraction. Sterling also good in tight spaces, provides a different threat. We'll make the 2 centre backs have to be very concerned about running off the shoulder. I don't think Trossard poses that threat when he plays in the 9. I don't even think centre backs think about that when he's playing in the 9. But with Sterling there or Wanyeri there, it's cool, we got the run off the shoulder option in it. So maybe you get a bit of that out of sync between the centre backs, where one's oh, maybe I should drop back, and the other's no, push up, and then that's when we can find some space. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. But I'm at the point I have to back my team, and that's all I can really do in it. So So yeah, man. Odegaard needs to step up immensely, bro. Like immensely, bro. Like I don't want to see none of that rubbish that I saw in the last game where he's running away from the ball. I don't want to see that personally, but you get it.
The only issue we got with that though, Hooks, yeah, is that one, we can get dragged into a top 4 race, but 2, Nottingham Forest have got way too much to play for. This is one of the best seasons that they'll have in their history in recent seasons. So unfortunately for us, we're playing a team that 1 are playing well, 2 have had a brilliant season, but 3 have got everything to not just to play for, but the way they play is the complete like what's the word I'm looking for? Like that their game plan is exactly what would beat us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that low block, they're going to be dogged. They're going to be
at home. Like, this is the only team. There's only a few teams
to concede the ball.
Happy to pace on the break, strength. The only team there's only a few teams that Arsenal can afford to not dominate the ball against: Liverpool, Man City, potentially even Chelsea on a one-off, maybe. But we cannot be seen to be dominated by Nottingham Forest. That would even if we won a scrappy 1-0 and they dominated the ball, it would be seen as a lackluster performance. And that's another issue that we have to contend with.
Not to a title rival, though. As a title rival, we tip your hat to you. Do you get me? Like, if you get out of this, them ones, bro. You've got to respect it. You got
to respect it. And when you guys played them, when I watched the game, when you guys played them, as much as you ended up kind of not losing the game, it was a back and forth game. Like, it was a real tough game. Like,
it nullified us completely. We started.
Yeah,
the worst thing is, I remember the first 5 to 10 minutes, we were putting it on them. I'm talking, put it on me. Like we was right there, and then this one turnover, sucker punch. It just took the wind out of ourselves completely. The rest of that half, it's like the players were like,
we don't want to attack just in case that happens again.
Yeah, like it was like, what just happened? And what I would say though is that I watched the Newcastle Forest game, and what a game it was, by the way. For those, if you didn't watch that game, you missed out, because for the neutral, that game was a brilliant game to watch. Nottingham Forest, for the first time, in my opinion, have looked a little bit more defensively vulnerable than they usually have been, because Nico Williams, obviously one of ours, we know how good he can be on his day. Ola Einar, who I think has been one of the best wing backs in the league this season, Milinkovic and Murillo. That back four and Sells in goal. That back four has been, as a unit, probably right there with Arsenal and Liverpool's. Maybe I generally think they've been right up there.
They might get more credit because of who they are.
Yeah, exactly. They'll probably get more credit from where they were last season. And if I'm honest, if someone did say up until maybe a month ago, have they been the best back line in the league? Well, they had the most clean sheets.
Yeah.
Why? Do you know what I'm saying? That there's an argument to say they had the best back line. I think that back line has started to slowly run out of steam a little bit. Not in terms of quality. I just think that you can't be perfect all season long.
It's not about being perfect as well. It's about the fact that their setup is to absorb that pressure. If you go into, you gotta have a different style when you need to win games as well. So I was
just about to say that I feel like they don't get as much credit as they deserve because they've been so up and down. So a lot of the times where you feel like, they're falling away now, they got slaughtered by one team, then they lost to then all of a sudden they just bounce back, and then their bounce back ability is seriously good.
Bro, Nottingham Forest are made of vibranium. I've been saying this. Yeah, I'm being saying not adamantium, because that just means you just keep regenerating. These men are made of vibranium. If you see when they put that, what is it they put in Black Panther's suit, where he absorbs all the hits,
the nanotech,
he absorbs all the hits, and then it just
energy.
This is what, bro. These man got bopped. These man got bopped by Bournemouth, absorbed all the energy, and then just slapped Brighton 7-0.
Mad.
He absorbed all the energy. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's a mad thing. So for me, as I said, they keep absorbing hits. But what I will say is I do think there's a little bit of a chink in their armor, and I think Newcastle exploited that very well. But
Newcastle at home, though.
That game for me still deserved to end 4-4. I think Nottingham Forest are very unlucky not to just get a point out of that game. But there are a few more mistakes in them than they ever were. But at the end of the day, I think it's up to Arsenal to exploit that. And the way Arsenal have looked going forward, it does look less likely than not that they'll exploit that. My hot take is that I think Arsenal win this game. And I think that's simply because I think Nottingham Forest against Arsenal and City, they almost went back to their prior selves.
Yeah.
And I think every team has a bogey team. I just think no one's ever cared about Nottingham Forest's bogey team this season. And I generally think their bogeys are the Arsenals and the Cities. Those are the two teams. Here's a stat, by the way, to help them as well. Mo Salah has scored or assisted against every single team in the league this season, apart from Nottingham Forest.
Apart from them.
Oh, is it? You played them twice. I
think he probably would have been the first ever player, or maybe even the only ever player in Premier League history to score and assist against every single team in the season.
Oh, that's infuriating.
I know that Saka's done it across his Saka scored or assisted against every single Premier League team. I don't know if he's done it.
We're talking in one season.
No, he's talking about one season. He's talking about this season.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. One season's crazy though. But Salah's having a mad season though. He's actually having a mad.
Yeah, it's record-breaking numbers. It's record-breaking numbers.
One of one season, man. There's never going to be another one of these. He's just doing that madness.
Let's get some score predictions quickly before we go into Salah hooks. By the way, just hold that thought. Let's get some score predictions and then we'll.
1-0. I'm going 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I would say 2-1. They're definitely going to score. I'll say 2-1.
I'll throw out a 1-1 just for.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. But I think Nottingham Forest are still going to finish very strongly, and I think they do get top 4.
Wait, you think we beat them?
I think I just think Nottingham Forest are crazy against every other team bar Arsenal and City. I think I'm going to go Arsenal 2-1.
What did you say at the end of that? You just said you think they're going to get top 4 still.
I still think they got top 4. Yeah.
There's 5 points separating 3rd and 10th.
Yeah, I still think they get. Yeah, but if you look at the teams between 5 and 10th, barely any of them have 3 wins out of their last 5. Most of them actually have 2. You don't need to go on winning streaks to get top 4. You need to find little bits of consistency. The difference is a lot. That's my one. Just to quickly move on to Liverpool versus Newcastle. Obviously, Hook, to start with you was just about to say something about Salah.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say I think it's absolutely mad how he hasn't already won a Ballon d'Or. But if he doesn't win it this season, then
is it a colour thing, Robbie?
No. It's because it's AFCON. It's AFCON. Remember, it's AFCON.
Is it a colour thing? Is it a colour thing, Robbie? You know what I'm saying? Is it an underbelly colour thing?
No,
I don't have that clip.
What did Jamie Carragher say? It's because he's not. It's not a major tournament in AFCON, isn't it?
Yeah, not his finest hour. I tried to not even discuss.
Yeah, I'm not. I know what I think on that, but I'm not ready.
What I will say is that the way that the people that do them as UEFA, the way that UEFA view international competitions, I still feel like Salah's probably gonna have to win another major trophy. He's probably gonna I do feel like, and for me, I think the Premier League has to be one of them.
Yeah, he has to win. I think he has to do the double, bro. I think I genuinely don't think a Premier League on its own this season is enough to carry him over the line, even with the goal.
Depends on what happens with Real Madrid, though. It depends if Real Madrid win. Like, obviously, because I feel like when Bellingham won everything last year, he didn't even win the Ballon d'Or. So,
do you know what I think it is? Here's I had a long argument with Troops about this on Back Again. Yeah, I feel like Salah, even if he does win the Carabao and the Champions League and he gets the 2020, he breaks the all-time GA record in the Premier League history, I still think that's enough to win the Ballon d'Or. And I only say that because Real Madrid are not even
Champions League, not league. Champions League, not league.
Yeah, league. Without the Champions League. Hear me out for my reasoning, because it's an unpopular I know it's an unpopular opinion. I'm not saying he will win it, but I still believe there's still a small chance that Salah can win it, because Real Madrid are not guaranteed to win the Champions League or the league this season. Like, I think everyone just has. I'm just saying, Real Madrid are not even guaranteed to win the Liga.
Would you say they're favourites to win the Champions League, though? Who's favourites to win the Champions League then?
I don't think there's a single favourite. I think Barcelona Real Madrid, Liverpool, Inter Milan, are 4 names that you could throw in that. But I think the Champions League wide open this year. I think it's wide open.
I honestly think it's probably between Liverpool or Real Madrid.
I don't know, man. I generally look at this.
I can't see any team beating Real Madrid.
How about this? Real Madrid aren't even guaranteed to get past Atletico Madrid in over 2 legs, bro. That ain't guaranteed. I'm saying right now, if Real Madrid do win that champs and they win that the La Liga, then of course it's not looking great for Salah's Ballon d'Or hopes. But if Real Madrid don't win that champs or they don't win La Liga, then I'm sorry, but Salah still has he's got a chance of winning that Ballon d'Or. The thing stopping him from winning the Ballon d'Or is a Real Madrid player winning that Champions League. That is what's stopping Salah from winning the Ballon d'Or. So, I'm sorry, but Real Madrid they don't just have a divine right to the Champions League. I'm tired of that narrative. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of that. They don't have a divine right to win it.
Yeah, but they know what to do. They know what to do.
They know what to do, and they do have the most heritage, and they are the favorites based on that alone. But they don't have a divine right to win it. For me,
they split up City. You know, like absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they split up City, but we split up City. Everyone, bro, you man split up City. You man split up City. But you man split them up worse than Madrid did. Come on, man. Look what we doing here. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona are like, I personally, go ask the La Liga fan. They won't even tell you Madrid's the best team in the league right now. Barcelona are 5 wins on the bounce. With their masses of injuries as well, by the way. Not saying Madrid haven't had their injuries. I understand Madrid have had their injuries, but that's my point in it. So for Liverpool and Mo Salah, right now, I'm just enjoying Mo Salah's whatever this is that Mo Salah's doing, because it's, again, I asked someone, I thought 57 was the highest GA season. I thought 57 was someone told me yesterday it's 47. Salah's on 41 and we're in February. Harry Kane won the golden boot and the golden assist trophy in what you've seen the picture. Salah brought that in the start of February. He brought that in. He brought it halfway through the season.
I want to know where you're trying to segue this into something, aren't you? I know where you're trying to.
No, I'm just saying. Do you know how crazy it is?
I know where you're trying to segue this.
Harry Kane had both of the trophies at the end of the season. Salah has done both. He's done both of them. Highest assist.
But even if he breaks the record, what? If he breaks the record, what?
Yeah.
If he breaks the record, what? Go on. What's your point?
No. If he breaks the which record? The 2020 record.
I know where you're trying to go with this.
He's not better. No. Salah will never be better.
He's rolled it up, you know. He's rolled it up.
No, hold on. Salah can't do anything in his career to be a better footballer than Henry. I'll say that. There's nothing he can do that will make him a better footballer than Henry. But if this guy gets,
are you being specific? Why say footballer like that?
But let me land. But I swear to God, if this guy wins the Ballon d'Or, wins the Premier League, breaks the 2020 and does 30-20,
24-20,
gets the highest GA, breaks the highest GA in one season. Yeah, if he does those 4 things and wins the Carabao, I'm not even going to put the Champions League in there because I'm not going to put the Champions League. If he does those 5 things, for me, we're talking right up there with one of the best or the best individual seasons in the Premier League.
Do you know
ever? If he wins,
I thought you was going to round it up. You built it up.
Remember, Henry didn't win the league when he got 24 and 20. By the way, Henry didn't win the league that year, so that it will already eclipse that season of Henry. It will eclipse that. So cry to your aunties. That's getting eclipsed. But there'll be an argument with the Ronaldo season because he did win the champs and the Prem. And
you're talking about greatest ever seasons more so than the player.
The Ronaldo conversation, I'm not so sure about.
Do you know a narrative that I'm going to start pushing? Because I thought about it last night and I was like, right. Because Monty's 100%. When he says about Henry, he's never going to be a better footballer. Like, it is what it is. But there's a conversation to be had of who has the better football and story. And I like that narrative. I like being a storyteller, dog. And I like the idea that Salah, when you write the book and you want to sell a bestseller, I think there's a bestseller there in Salah's story.
All right. Let me ask you another question then. Yeah, beforehand. Where does he rank in your greatest players in your head in Liverpool?
Oh. And this is why it's the story for me, because I think Salah is a bigger legend I think Gerrard has the better story. And I mean that because Gerrard being a boyhood fan lad from the club, you're never going to get a better story of what Steven Gerrard did, the highs, the lows, the pain. But in terms of actual legend, in terms of deliverables in the Premier League, Salah has to be one or two. And the only other person is Gerrard that is in that conversation.
So okay. So you're talking about recent times, isn't it? We're not going into the.
Yeah, well, obviously, my lifetime, I've only been Prem. I'm Prem baby, do you get me? So I can only really speak. I only tend to speak on.
None of us are unk status, isn't it?
Yeah.
I only ever tend to speak on.
So basically, it's him and Gerrard.
It's him and Gerrard there, and again, it can come down to a preference. But if someone's always pushing, what you win medals, my thing is, well, if it's going to come down to that, and I need to be able to put my medals on the table, I'm always going to put Salah's medals down first in that conversation.
Do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy?
That's interesting. I didn't know he was that high up there.
Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, two things. Yeah, the first thing, I've seen a picture of Gerrard in the Everton kit in it. Neither here nor there in it. But the other thing that's crazy, yeah, like man are talking about Salah. Yeah, I've done it about the fan with both of you, and neither of you said Salah is your all-time favorite player for Arsenal. Sorry,
it doesn't have to be Philip. It doesn't have to be my favorite player, though.
You have to go.
My favorite was Daniel Sturridge. My favorite player is Daniel Sturridge.
You have to search far and wide to find an Arsenal fan whose favorite player of all time is not Henry. So I beg, let's not talk about the story. Yeah.
No, we got past that. You go back to that.
Bro, my favorite Daniel Sturridge is nowhere near like Steven Gerrard or any of these guys, but Daniel Sturridge is generally my favorite player. Coutinho is right out of one of my favorite. Like that's like preference because he was more than a footballer to me. Man is like one of my idols. That's one of my idols. You know what I'm saying? In terms of someone that has inspired me on a personal level. You see what I'm saying? If we're talking strictly ball only, listen, you lot, don't bring up Thiago's name, bro. Don't bring up Thiago's name to me. That's an emotional standpoint.
I didn't know you guys would put Salah
an emotional standpoint.
Near Gerrard.
Gerrard has his own category, and Salah is like trying to you know what I'm saying? It's every goal he's scoring.
What I will say is though,
he's just trying to get there.
Salah's created a lane of his own. I think there's a pathway that people try to emulate to get onto Gerrard's level, but Salah said, "Nah, I'm gonna go my own way, and I'm gonna bust through this way." And what he's done in terms of the path he's then created, you've got to respect it because you can't do what he can't be. Stevie G can't be that captain. Fantastic.
He'll never be Stevie G because he's not even been the captain level for football club, let alone. But what you would say is that Salah's always said. He said it. He's done interviews. He's done that whole thing with Steven Gerrard, by the way. When he sat there with Stevie, like he said, he wants to create his own Liverpool legendary status. He wants to create his own lane in it. But yeah, listen, guys, I know you guys are mentioning Thiago because everyone, if you know me, I live and die by the Thiago sword, innit? Like I can't lie. We live and die by the Thiago sword. But yeah, just based on Liverpool Newcastle, just quickly, let's get some score predictions for that. I know it's going to be a difficult game.
Bro, I'm there tonight.
Are you going? Yeah, you guys are
game. Bro, I'm doing a little something special at the moment. So keep your eyes peeled.
You're not gonna slap.
I'll let the people know. So this is like first time early access.
Oh, big.
Man's gonna touch pitch side tonight. You know, dog.
Oh, sweet.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let me a five, man. Let me a five, bro.
Who you interviewing?
It's not even it's a next thing. It's not even an interview thing. It's a completely different type of thing. So if anyone's on the ground, it's a madness.
How about this? It's NDA settings, man. It's NDA.
Nice. It's nice. So man's about to leave here now. I'm gonna go get a little shape up and them things. So I look
up, bro.
Underneath the lights.
You're so lucky. Said at the end, I would have been trolling the whole stream.
See, this is what I'm saying. See, this is why. See, when you don't do the superstar thing with me, now I want you to show the same energy to Errol, bro. Like, so if you want to contact Errol, you go shout his assistant. You shout out his assistant. You know,
I'll be your agent, bro. You can be my agent. We'll pattern each other to get me.
But yeah, man.
Everyone's going pick side don't mean that you're not a superstar, bro.
No.
I know what you're trying to do there. You're famous as well, bro. Like,
Listen,
man. Man, know your name across the globe, bro.
Anyway, let's not do this. Listen, Liverpool versus Newcastle obviously has been is a game that obviously 3-3 at St James's Park. The Kelleher mistake. They were better than us throughout the game, I think, but Mo Salah done what Mo Salah does and took the game by the scruff of the neck. Listen, guys.
We're gonna slap them. We're gonna slap them.
Newcastle are a problem. I will never speak about these men like they're scrubs. Never will I ever disrespect them just because of how they've treated you bro. You man, Arsenal fans, you guys can tell us all about how
three in a row.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Newcastle have pretty much shown everyone in this league levels, probably apart from Man City, really. Really, and us, obviously, with the 3-3. So, you know, with Gordon, the likes of Isak has given Van Dijk. I think Isak's the one striker that really gave Van Dijk problems.
He is.
And we're gonna have to
destroyed Saliba and Gabriel 3 times easily.
And yes, Joe isn't back for the game, but this for me will be as big as a win as the Man City game if you win the game. This is still a massive game. Everyone spoke about, you know, Villa away, Newcastle at home, and obviously City away as like the 3, you know, Diagon Alley. You know what I'm saying? The 3 games of death.
What's that? Harry Potter?
Huh?
In the Harry Potter?
That's definitely Hallows. That's definitely Hallows.
Harry Potter, isn't it? Yeah, Harry Potter.
Is it? No, yeah, I don't know. Diagon Alley is not that's something the man them saying.
Definitely Hallows is Harry Potter. You're
I know definitely Hallows.
You don't even know what he's quoting, bro. You see him things online. You see him things online and just saying something on the street thinking no one knows.
No, I know that definitely Hallows is the Harry Potter. It's the 7th Harry Potter movie. I'm just saying.
This guy, bro.
I'm saying that I wasn't. I would have said the Deathly Hallows. I said Diagon Alley.
Yeah, I think that is a place. That's a location. That's a location in Harry Potter.
Thank you, Errol. Man.
It is a location.
Fair enough. Yeah. Listen, yeah. I'll be real in it, yeah. I'll be real. As I said, those are the 3 games that everyone thought, you know what? Liverpool could really fall off here. But as I said, I wanted 7 points out of 9 personally. You know what I'm saying? I wanted 7 points out of 9. Obviously 9 out of 9, but 7 points out of 9. So for me, you know what I'm saying? For me, this 3 points is as important as the City game. I don't know what you man think.
I need Isak and Gordon to rise the machine, blood. That's what I need, bro. I can't lie, man.
It can be done, but we're relying too much on other teams. Because the funny
thing but I have to.
That's is, we didn't beat Liverpool this year. A lot of people do this all the time. We didn't beat Liverpool when we played them, and we still got to play them. So we keep relying on other teams when we can't beat them.
I have no choice. I have no choice.
They're gonna slap Newcastle to shreds. Trust me, they're gonna batter this team. They're gonna play back with this stupid team from Newcastle. Shouldn't be able to. They're gonna slap them.
We need to talk Errol in it, Mr. Anfield. We need to talk in it.
No. I can't be there and we lose. No. That can't run. Cannot run today. So yeah, I'm saying it's gonna be I'm saying it could be a big score prediction from me. I'm saying about a 3-1, 3-2.
They're gonna slap them. They're gonna slap them.
No, we're not about slapping them, but I think at the moment we're just in that we've got that confidence now. After that City, I think the team and the players know the level and they know that a good couple of performances and there's a big break after this. So in terms of going to the well, Liverpool haven't had to go to the well that much this season. This is one of those rare occasions where it's a case of go to the well, empty the tank because you've got about a 7 to 10 day break to recharge again.
No, you don't.
And you got them in the cup final as well. So it's like
No, you don't.
All right, Botman's out.
Why? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Come on. What's this sad face?
We fucking got him.
Your players don't have a break. See, this is one of the negatives of your players playing as well as they are. All of them are going on international break. How about that?
No, because it's the FA Cup, innit? Isn't it the FA Cup weekend that we break?
FA Cup international breaks. We're
Out
out
of the international break. That's what I'm saying. We're not playing FA Cup.
I don't know.
I don't know. Doing the same thing that Mom done earlier, just seeing things online and saying it.
I got my dates in the calendar.
He's saying the same thing.
Got the dates in the calendar mixed up.
Bro, the next game's 8th of March, bro. That's next week.
That's what I'm saying. So we've got like a week, 10 days almost.
Yeah, when's the last? Yeah, bro. A week is like that feels like holiday to the man. Them. That feels like holiday.
At this point in the season, it will do.
Yeah, we got the same break as well. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, because we're out. Yeah, but they've got Newcastle.
Yeah, they're out as well. They're out as well.
You saying 10 points to Gryffindor? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, now he wants to cut.
He's in it.
I don't even know where Diagon Alley's from. Anyway.
I hear it.
I'm taking the miss. I'm taking the miss.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll go 2-2.
2-2.
Desmond, Desmond, yeah.
Little Desi, yeah.
I think they win. I think they win 3 or 4-1.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
1-1? No way.
You got me.
Nah, I'm lying. I'm gonna say 2-1 Liverpool, man. 2-1 Liverpool. Reluctantly though, because I always think Newcastle's just a drag, man. Playing Newcastle was just so long, like they just run way too much. Now I know how people felt playing us under Klopp at times, bro. The Buvac Kloppers, I'm talking Buvac times. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, yeah, it's mad, isn't it? So,
bro, I think they take a 2-1 no, knowing that they see enough signs that they could do something in the final. I'm not saying they're gonna, but I think that's what they look.
They're nearly close to top 4.
It's a case of doubling down and emptying the tank today or on the 16th.
Here's a quick question. Would anyone take a 1-1 draw, meaning it would guarantee us the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, of course you would. That's easy. Of course you would.
I don't think you would, you know. I don't think you would.
They would.
This is why I just
that
one. Remember, if Newcastle win, they go third.
Yeah, but that 1-1 may guarantee you the Carabao Cup, but that 1-1 could be the.
Hey, wait there.
Yeah. Listen, that's fair enough. Well, listen, you lot. Let's just get your last score predictions in. Man, what were your score predictions again? Just so I know.
3-1, 3 or 4-1 Liverpool, man.
Yeah, I went 3-1.
Desmond.
I went 3-1. Yeah. Slot's banned, right. And he Slot's banned, no?
Yeah, this is his first game ban.
All right. Well, listen, you lot. Obviously, I'll keep it real. This show was lit, man. I think this was some serious title talk. You know, this was obviously the first show. From now, you know, to the end of the season. I personally think that, you know, this show is going to be a revelation going forward. You know what I'm saying? Troops and Matt from Coppish will be joining us to make it a 6-panel. So W's in the chat if you're looking forward to next week's title talk show. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you are becoming a member, because there will be a point where this show becomes a members show only. So I do want to make as many people a member as possible. The member prices will be slightly dropping as well a little bit, maybe, we're not too sure, but make sure, as I said, for as little as $2.99, I want you guys really involved in this. This show was a mad thing. I can see the chat are glad that we made this show a thing, you know, so, and it's going to be even better when we add Matt to the panel, when we add Troops to the panel, and we got a few other guys in rotation as well. You know what I'm saying? Because not everyone's always available every time. So, you know, guys, make sure you go and follow Halftime Hooks on all socials. You know what I'm saying? Make sure the Fam Zone TV on all socials, subscribe on YouTube, and obviously Errol, you'll find him in a limousine somewhere in Liverpool, in a tuxedo with his trim at the side, with mods beside him. You see him by the corner flag, you see him by the cop end in it, or the Dalglish line.
Big up for today, Errol, man.
You know what I'm saying? You'll find him somewhere. Shout out Jamie Phillips as well. But listen, you lot, subscribe to the Redmen TV as well, and make sure you guys are subscribing to this channel as well. We're on the road to 20k. Mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Smash the like button, get us to a bag of likes. Let us know in the comments what else you want to see on this show and whatnot. And we'll see you again this time next Wednesday for the Title Talk show. Take care. See you soon. And we're going to close up on a video that pretty much emulates myself and Errol throughout the time on, you know, this season. Take care, people, and we'll see you in the next one.
Life like this sure is sweet, huh? It definitely is.